What if I told you that a little girl born into extreme poverty in rural Mississippi, who faced abuse and countless rejections, would become one of America's most powerful and beloved figures worth over $2 billion? This is Oprah Winfrey's incredible story, and today I'm sharing 5 life-changing lessons from her journey that you can use right now to transform your own life. Lesson number 1 is the game-changing power of authenticity, and this might shock you because everything we see on social media tells us to be perfect, but Oprah built her empire by doing the exact opposite. From day one of her career, she shared her real struggles with weight, relationships, childhood trauma, and failures, not for sympathy, but because she discovered something powerful that most people miss completely. When you're genuinely authentic and vulnerable, you give others permission to do the same, and that creates a connection that goes way beyond entertainment. It creates real transformation in people's lives. Think about it. How many times have you watched someone who seemed too polished and perfect, and you thought they don't understand real life? But that never happened with Oprah because she consistently shared her real experiences, including the painful ones. When she revealed her history of abuse on television, it wasn't for ratings. It was because millions of viewers were carrying similar pain and needed to know they weren't alone in their struggles. This authenticity became her superpower because it allowed her to connect with everyone from celebrities to struggling single mothers, from world leaders to everyday Americans, and they all felt like she was speaking directly to them. But here's the key insight you can use immediately. Authenticity isn't about oversharing or being inappropriate. It's about being genuine in your interactions, admitting when you don't know something, acknowledging your mistakes, and showing up as your real self instead of trying to be who you think others want you to be. When Oprah interviewed guests, she didn't pretend to have all the answers. She asked the questions real people wanted answered, showed genuine emotion when appropriate, and wasn't afraid to respectfully disagree when someone's views didn't align with her values. You can apply this in your career by being honest about your strengths and areas for improvement, building genuine relationships instead of just networking for personal gain, and having courage to speak up for your beliefs even when it's not popular. And in your personal relationships, authenticity means being vulnerable enough to share your real thoughts and feelings, because when you show up authentically, you attract people who appreciate the real you. Lesson number 2 is continuous learning and personal growth, which is crucial in today's rapidly changing world where yesterday's skills might not be enough for tomorrow's opportunities. Oprah has been a voracious learner throughout her career, constantly reading books, interviewing experts, attending seminars, and most importantly, applying what she learns and sharing those insights with others. She didn't just read about psychology or leadership as an intellectual exercise. She implemented these concepts in her life and used her platform to teach others what she discovered. This commitment started early when she realized that to be an effective interviewer, she needed to understand human nature and psychology. So she studied these subjects intensively through real-world application and continuous experimentation. Her famous book club wasn't just about promoting literacy, it was about demonstrating that learning is a lifelong journey and wisdom can be found everywhere if you're open to it. What made Oprah's learning approach unique was that she didn't just consume information passively. She actively sought to understand how new knowledge could improve her life and others' lives, and she wasn't afraid to experiment with new ideas even if they didn't always work perfectly. When she learned about gratitude through expert interviews, she didn't just nod and move on. She started keeping a gratitude journal, encouraged her audience to do the same, and shared the results on her show. This approach of consume, apply, refine, and share is something anyone can adopt regardless of education or circumstances. And in today's information age, it's often the difference between thriving and just surviving. You can implement this by reading at least one book monthly related to your goals, listening to educational podcasts during commutes, attending workshops that stretch your thinking, and most importantly, actively applying what you learn rather than just collecting information, approaching learning with curiosity and asking not just what is this person saying, but how can I use this to improve my life or help others? Lesson number 3 is turning pain into purpose, and this might be the most transformative concept for anyone who has faced significant challenges or setbacks. Oprah's childhood was marked by poverty, instability, and abuse, experiences that could have led to bitterness and defeat. But instead, she made a conscious choice to use them as fuel for her mission to help others heal and grow. This wasn't about positive thinking or pretending pain doesn't matter. It was a gradual process of understanding how her struggles gave her unique insights into human experience and equipped her to connect with others facing similar challenges. When Oprah shares her difficult childhood, she doesn't do it for shock value or sympathy. She does it because she knows her story helps others realize their past doesn't have to determine their future, and the experiences that seem destructive can become foundations for our greatest contributions. This became evident when she chose to focus on uplifting programming instead of exploiting problems for entertainment, setting her apart from other talk show hosts who relied on sensational confrontational formats. She addressed serious issues like domestic violence, addiction, and mental health with sensitivity and genuine desire to help people heal. And she could do this effectively because her experiences gave her credibility and empathy that couldn't be faked. But this lesson isn't just for people with dramatic trauma. It applies to anyone who has faced disappointment, rejection, failure, or any adversity, because the question isn't whether you'll face challenges, it's what you'll do with them when they come. Oprah's approach shows we can either let difficulties make us bitter and closed off, or use them as stepping stones to develop compassion, resilience, and wisdom we can share with others on similar paths. This doesn't mean being grateful for painful experiences or pretending they weren't difficult. It means recognizing those experiences gave you insights and strength you wouldn't have developed otherwise. And these qualities can become powerful tools for serving others and creating meaning. You can apply this by reflecting on your challenges and asking what you've learned that might be valuable to others. Whether that's resilience from career setbacks, wisdom from relationship failures, or compassion from personal struggles, then looking for ways to use those insights to help others through mentoring, writing, speaking, or simply being a better friend and family member. Lesson number 4 is building and maintaining meaningful relationships, which goes far beyond networking or making connections for personal gain. It's about genuinely caring for others and creating supportive community that helps everyone reach their full potential. Throughout her career, Oprah has built deep, lasting relationships with celebrities she interviewed, staff members, authors whose books she promoted, and everyday people whose stories she shared. And remarkably, many of these relationships have continued for decades long after professional connections ended. This wasn't accidental or just result of fame. It was conscious choice to invest in people as human beings rather than seeing them as stepping stones. And this approach enriched her life personally while being key to her professional achievements. Her 40-year friendship with Gayle King exemplifies this. But it's also evident in relationships with staff who worked with her for decades and countless individuals whose lives she touched through her work. What makes Oprah's relationship approach special is genuine interest in others and willingness to invest time and energy helping them succeed, even with no immediate benefit to herself. And this generosity created a network of people genuinely invested in her success because they know she's invested in theirs. This extends beyond maintaining good relationships with colleagues or old friends. It's about approaching every interaction with curiosity, kindness, and genuine interest in understanding others' perspectives and experiences. When interviewing guests, she didn't ask standard questions every other interviewer would ask. She really listened to answers and followed up with questions showing genuine engagement, allowing her to uncover insights others missed while honoring guests' humanity. You can apply this by being fully present with others, putting away distractions like phones and truly focusing on conversations, asking thoughtful follow-up questions showing engagement, remembering and following up on important things people share about their lives, and looking for ways to help others achieve goals, even without immediate benefit. Because building genuine relationships based on mutual respect is one of the most valuable investments in future success and happiness. Lesson number 5 is having a clear sense of purpose and using that purpose to guide decisions and actions throughout life. From early in her career, Oprah understood her work wasn't just about entertainment or financial success. It was about using her platform to make positive difference in the world. And this purpose became the North Star guiding her through difficult decisions, career transitions, and personal challenges. This purpose evolved through her experiences, observations of what was missing in media, and deep desire to help others live their best lives. And once clear about this mission, it influenced every career aspect from show types to book club selections to philanthropic causes. What's remarkable is she didn't see purpose as separate from business success. She understood that by staying true to her mission of empowering others, she would attract audiences sharing those values, creating sustainable long-term success rather than just short-term profits. This is evident in how she structured business ventures from television to magazine to network, all reflecting core values while being commercially successful, proving you don't have to choose between making money and making difference if you're patient and strategic. Having purpose isn't just important for entrepreneurs or public figures. It's essential for anyone wanting fulfilling, meaningful life. Because when you're clear about what matters most and what impact you want, it's easier to decide how to spend time, energy, and resources, and you're more likely to persist through challenges because you're motivated by something larger than personal gain. Discovering purpose doesn't require dramatic revelation or complete career change. It often starts with noticing what energizes you, what problems you want to solve, what activities make you lose track of time, and what legacy you want to leave, then gradually aligning more of your life with these insights. Oprah's example shows that operating from genuine purpose attracts opportunities, relationships, and resources supporting that mission, not through mystical attraction, but because people are drawn to authenticity and passion and want to be part of something meaningful bigger than themselves. Start by reflecting on what matters most, what impact you want on others, what legacy you want to leave. Then look for ways to incorporate purpose-driven activities into daily life through career, volunteer work, parenting, or community interactions. Oprah's story proves that regardless of where you start, what challenges you face, or how impossible dreams seem, you can create extraordinary results by embracing these principles and applying them consistently over time. Her journey wasn't just about talent or luck, but conscious choices to be authentic, keep learning, transform pain into purpose, build meaningful relationships, and stay connected to larger mission beyond personal success. And these principles are available to everyone. Regardless of background, education, or circumstances, the key is starting where you are with what you have and implementing these lessons one day, one decision, one relationship at a time. Because transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen for those committed to growth and willing to do the work to become their best selves.